Good morning and welcome you all. I'm very grateful to School for Reformers for giving me this opportunity to share my experience, how we can enhance our communication skills using NLP. And I'm very grateful to Pravina to invite me here as a guest. And I would like also to say thanks for everyone who's listening or watching this session. I'll just start with a short, brief introduction about myself. I hope my screen is visible. So, a short intro about myself is that my total work these days is how I can empower leaders and educators to bridge the Gen Z millennial communication gap as a life coach, as a strategic advisor, NLP trainer, and practitioner. And my mission is to help others to find their purpose in their lives. The tagline which I use is that I help people to design their lives by redesigning their minds and beautifying lives. So, born and brought up in Mumbai, and then now I'm in Pune. I have almost 30 years of working experience in IT industry. As I mentioned, I'm a coach, mentor for all age groups. I help entrepreneurs, and I conduct NLP-based interactive training programs for professional and personal development. So I keep on enriching myself by learning, unlearning, and co-learning. I'm a certified NLP practitioner, master trainer. I'm also certified to conduct NLP training sessions. I also am a handwriting analyst and an avid communicator. So today's session will begin how we can help to enhance our communication skills using NLP. See, the most common myths about communication, it is that, okay, we should speak one language fluently, we should have a good accent, and that's how we can make others understand us. Like words have meanings, words without feeling will not be, understood. So for communication, we always have that it should be effective, it should be clear, correct, complete, concise, and compassionate. However, to communicate with clarity, we need to understand the how our mind interprets the words which are being said by our own self and how we hear others, and that's how we are able to communicate with clarity. So we have seen difficult conversations happening, when we have to inform somebody about a kind of a behavior they're doing or a poor performance or about the feelings. How can you make them understand what are you feeling? And also, if there are differences of opinions, communicating tough decisions, too much of information, that also overwhelms us, and we are not able to express them to them properly about our identity, about our role conversation. So these are all different kind of conversations we go through into our day-to-day life, whether it's in our personal or professional. So what is neuro-linguistic programming? NLP is a short form, and neuro means study of the mind and nervous system and how we think. So exactly that is what we say, it's happening in my mind. I am thinking. And then linguistic is how we communicate with self and with others, because that is where the communication happens. First, we always think in our own mind and then we communicate. So, what are the words which we are saying to ourselves and what we are saying finally to others makes a lot of difference. And this is exactly the communication which is happening. And the programming part is how we can understand the patterns, what we already have, and the behavior it's giving us as a result. And if we want to change it, slightly tweak it, how we can do it. And that happens using NLP. NLP is for everyone, like, for leaders, entrepreneurs, everyone can use this in their day-to-day life. And also whether it's a professional or even interaction with any other human being, communication, and that's where NLP comes in and helps. NLP it equips educators to build up rapport for students for better connection, communication again effectively, understanding their various styles and understanding how the message is being reached to them, managing classroom dynamics, conflicts, employing different learning strategies for different kinds of learners, because each one of us don't have the same learning model. How to overcome our own limiting beliefs, which is very important, and then how we can help others, foster confidence and resilience in both educators and students. And also, how can we do a very important thing is how we can give feedback and assessment for student development, because this is what we keep on doing every day. We are talking to others, we are interacting with others. How we can still manage to give them the feedback, communicate with them effectively, and reach our outcomes. So that's the whole purpose of how we are able to help educators using NLP. NLP also helps to enhance our teaching skills, student engagement, and creates a positive learning environment. So NLP for students. NLP is a set of techniques that can help students improve their communication, learning, problem-solving skills, and also managing stress and anxiety. As I mentioned earlier, it's all about the mind, how our mind is communicating to us and to others, and what kind of words we can use. Even the tonality, if you observe the way I am talking now, is going to make a lot of difference to conduct or reach that message you want to convey to others, and also getting connected with your own self. So few principles of NLP I would like to share here. First is self-awareness. So we become much self-aware of what is happening within us, what is happening outside. See, what happens is whatever is happening outside, we cannot control that, right? However, what is happening inside, we should keep on checking that. And that's where the help of helping others becomes more easy and more helpful also. So it helps us to increase our confidence, how we can connect with them, and what is the right way to help them. It also helps us to build communication skills, because that's how we'll be able to perform. It motivates positive social actions. When we start practicing NLP, it helps us to speak the language of our audience so that our words have a greater impact and create effortless change by identifying their behaviors. And accordingly, when we are having a conversation, we are able to respond to them properly, react as and when required. As you must be knowing that, we always have said that we should respond, not react. Now, how to do that? That how is very important, and that is where NLP helps us a lot, because that's where we are able to slightly tweak our own self-talk and then communicate. It is a practice of understanding how people organize their thinking and language and how this affects behavior. It actually helps us to understand what must be going in their mind and then what is happening in my mind, and that's where the communication starts building up. This is exactly designed to help us to communicate excellently, and that's the main purpose of NLP. We communicate through our unconscious and conscious mind. So I will just give a little brief explanation about unconscious mind and conscious mind, because that's where the communication keeps on happening, whether it's at any time. Only time is when our conscious mind is at rest, is when we are going to sleep. The unconscious mind has started working the day we came into this identity. And how does it help us to store our information, store our thoughts? That's so important. So one very important thing about unconscious mind is that it cannot process negative. So I'll be sharing few examples how you can observe, think, and feel, act to understand how you need to slightly just tweak your own thought process and use the words which will be more effective. And that's how your message will be given across properly. How we communicate. So when we are doing, first is our self-talk. So how does that happen? The communication is happening between the unconscious and the conscious mind. and it's bi-directional. It keeps on happening throughout the day. For example, there's another research that at one point of time, we can think almost 30 to 35 thoughts. As a human, we have so many thoughts going on in our mind. And however, we can process only 4 thoughts at a time. So when we really start practicing this or start adapting to this, understanding it, this is how our brain is working, this is how our mind is working, we'll be able to focus on 1 or 2 thoughts instead of allowing all these thoughts to come and jumble up in our mind. And that's where this miscommunication starts happening. Somebody is saying something, but we skip hearing it also properly because there are so many thoughts going on at the same time. Now, coming back to the mind, every time we have an idea or an emotion, a memory or an image from the past, this is the unconscious mind communicating to our conscious mind. So we say that, I'm aware of it, I'm conscious about it. That means you are in the present moment. The conscious mind contains all of the thoughts, memories, feelings, very important on that, and wishes of which we are aware at a given point of time. Like at this moment, if I ask you, can you hear something from outside? So your mind will go and, just try to hear something. What are the sounds around? Or can you think of certain image? So you will think of that image in your mind. So that is where the conscious mind is getting operated. It's more than the subconscious mind or unconscious. So I would also like to, remind that the word unconscious and subconscious mind is same. Some people use subconscious, some use unconscious. So it is the meaning is same for both. The unconscious mind is a reservoir of feelings, all what we have learned, heard from the day we came to this earth. Whatever words we have been hearing and whatever learnings we have done, if we have kept on repeating it, so it works in an autopilot mode. It just keeps on, like every day morning when we wake up, we don't think, oh, how I'm going to get up, how I'm going to do this. We keep on doing certain things. So that is the autopilot mode. And that's where the unconscious or the subconscious mind is working full, like almost 95%. So unconscious mind is just collecting all the data, all the memories it has, and it keeps on helping us. And that's where the unconscious and conscious mind keep on communicating. So neuroscience has shown that most of our decision, action, emotions, and behavior depends on the 95% of our brain activity. So everything what is stored in the subconscious we keep on using that. But are we becoming aware that that is just the tip of the iceberg? So it's almost like 1% in a daytime we use our conscious mind effectively. If we start using it more, that's where we'll be able to take more action, we'll be able to take more clear decisions, we'll be able to communicate with clarity to others. So there is this NLP's first presupposition. This has helped me a lot. It really sets your mind to get adapted. They said, oh, you should be flexible, you should be adaptable, you should be able to understand. The first presupposition of NLP is that everyone in this world has a unique model. So each of us cannot think alike. We cannot feel alike. If I say now it's cold, but the word cold, it could be how cold is it? You feel like wearing a warm, any warm wear, or you just want like, it's nice and pleasant, or I'm just feeling a shiver. So all these words, when we say, we share, cannot be the same for everyone. It's almost like how we all have different fingerprints. So once we make our mindset very clear that every human we interact with or we think of has a unique model of their own, so then we can be an active listener, We become non-judgmental, we avoid putting labels to person's behavior, and we become empathetic. And this is how it really helps us. Now you have to observe the words you're using to communicate yourself. Like I mentioned, ask, what am I feeling? What are the words? So like for the words afraid, fear, so that are all the feelings which will make you feel more negative. So it is always better how do you are able to make out if you're thinking negative or positive. So when you start asking these questions, that's where your conscious mind is working more than your subconscious mind. And that's where you become more alert and you're able to control your inner self. So whenever we have to say, like, no, we say, oh, I can do this, or I can wake up in the morning every day, it's fine. Action will not happen because you're using the words, I can do it. Second step happens, I want to wake up at 6 in the morning. Every day I want to do that. See how it takes you to a different level. And the minute you say these words that I need to wake up at 6 every day, this is the reason why I want to wake up at 6, that's where your action will happen. Till then, it's just a mumble of thoughts and words happening in your mind. So you observe the words, what you're using to communicate to yourself, and that's where you are able to identify your present state. And then what is the desired state you want, you can move towards it because you become more conscious. You start using your conscious mind more than your subconscious mind. Now, how to have, these kind of conversations, like, for example, if you know you're going to go for a meeting or a session or anything which you know it's not going to be that easy because most of the time it is going on an auto mode. So take a pause, be in the moment. What is the reason I'm going for this now? What is the purpose behind it? How I'm going to make them understand what I want to say to them? How can I convey that message to them? So the way we can do it is to first mention the emotion in the words. When we start a conversation, instead of saying, okay, what's going on, or, and then you don't mention because what is your need is not being expressed. So how will that person understand this is what you want? So if you could just remember how to break down the thoughts or the conversation, what you're going to have, you should state the emotion in your speech that I'm happy to see here or I'm upset about this instead of covering that emotion and then mention, I need your help here. So that's the starting point. You remember feeling and then mention the need. The most important thing to get connected. So what happens is when we are communicating, we have to connect with the other person's subconscious or unconscious mind. And that can happen till we mention the name of the person. Mentioning the name of the person in beginning of that sentence is really going to help you a lot to get connected with them. And that's where what you're saying will be processed properly in the other person's mind. Now, for example, you mention the name and mention, I am upset about the delayed submission of the report. This timing doesn't work for me. How you can help me in that? So you observe when you start making your sentences in such a way where you mention the name, you mention your feeling and the need. Like, I feel anxious. So that's again your feeling. When I don't see a plan, because my need is to have clarity about what will happen when. And then your need. And I want a detailed plan from you. See, instead of saying, I want a detailed plan because I'm not happy with this thing. So see how that switch is going to help you. When we are in a meeting or in any conversation and we are not understood what that other person is saying, instead of, that I don't understand what you're saying, help me to understand. The word, when you start with the word help, and the way, if you observe the way I said it, help me to understand this. That person will help you. That process will happen in that other person's mind. And You can also ask, what else can you share about the situation? Suppose you need more information. Instead of saying that, oh, I need more information, say, how else can you help me? Or what else can you share about the situation? What else would you like to share? Start your sentences with the words what and how instead of why. That's very, very important. How to say no. Like presently, I'm working on this task. Instead of straight away saying, I don't know, I'm doing this or that. Presently, I'm working on this task and mention the priority that I shall not be able to help you with this now, but yeah, I'm available after that. So you're not saying like, promptly no, but you are saying that what is happening now and you can do it later. So you're giving an option, you're giving a choice to others. Instead of saying sorry, you can say, because the word sorry is very easy to say, and people can say that n number of times. So my apologies for not being able to understand. So that's where your connection is happening with the subconscious mind or unconscious mind of the other person. And that's where the communication will start happening. Please accept my apology for. So these are few sentences which can be used to enhance your communication. As I mentioned, you should keep on observing how you're feeling. The minute you know, okay, this is how I'm feeling now, you will be able to change your communication or your sentences. You can frame them because you know this is what is happening within you. As I mentioned earlier, we cannot control what is outside. We need to control what is inside. And that can happen by observing what you're feeling, how you're feeling, and what you want to feel now. Few of the daily habits I put up on this slide, like as I mentioned, using of the name in the beginning, sharing your feeling and your need, using how and what while questioning. Avoid starting your statements with why or any other negative word like, no, don't do this. This is not the right way. You see, the tone changes. It's like giving instructions and it hits very badly to the other person. Like, even if you're doing your self, no, I'm not wrong, I'm right. If you say this to yourself also, you see how it goes inside. Your emotions all get shaken up. You're not able to think next. So we have to be very careful how we are thinking, what we are thinking, and then start a communication. So helping, having your task list for work and personal work, that helps, your mind to organize things properly, and then you don't get hassled up. Staying hydrated, very important. Again, I would repeat, observe what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and then start acting upon it. Just do this by pauses and see, after some time, this will become your habit. And that's where your communication will get better and better. So acknowledge who you are, accept what you do, and appreciate what you do. And I would say, love what you do. And that will really take you into a very good resourceful state. So there's something else, quickly, the last slide now. Do your gratitude, because that gives you how much of strong energy. So I've put down this, you can actually take a screenshot of this every night, how you can acknowledge and be grateful. What are the two things you could have done better today? What are the two things which should happen tomorrow to make you happy? And self-talk for every day, which really works wonders, is I love and accept myself exactly the way I'm right now. You observe, how did I say it with full energy and full thought process. This is how I love and accept myself the way I'm right now. And that's where your conscious mind is getting more active. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. This is amazing. This also helps a lot. And I have all the resources I need to be always in a resourceful state. That really shifts that mind totally. So I conduct these kind of sessions, which are, I'm just putting this, just showing you the slides. I conduct training topics for teaching effectiveness also using NLP. Thank you very much. And any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Gita. Wonderful explanation, ma'am. If you can, yes, stop sharing the screen. Welcome, Miss Shivani Khurana, to our platform. Glad that you have entered the meeting room. Any questions from your end, ma'am?
No, it is always nice to hear Miss Gita. And it's always a kind of a revision. It's a kind of you tell your mind again, like the conscious mind.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, lovely talk. Any questions, ma'am, from your side?
Um, you are asking me? No, I'm good. I would
Miss
love if,
Shivani, yes.
okay, Shivan, if you have any questions, I would love to answer.
I
Anything?
like the way when you tell that daily self-talk, right? Because to do that daily self-talk, you need a reminder for your own self.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, that is, I think that is one thing which is really important for a day to start off with.
Right, that's the takeaway, right?
Yeah.
So, ma'am, I have a couple of questions for you, Miss Geeta, if you allow me to ask. Uh,
Sure. Yeah.
so, as you explained, how long does it take to see results from practicing NLP techniques, ma'am?
So that's a very good question. So there isn't any
Time frame.
fixed time. I'll tell you the secret how it works and
Mhm.
how it works with me also. First of all, you need to understand and practice daily. Daily practice, we all know. And they say, 21 days, 60 days, and all that. That
Mhm.
definitely works, but it will be different for each and every person as all of us are in a different, we are humans, we are
Right,
different. And to make it happen, what I find in my all experiences, when you have someone to keep a check on you, either you become very strong to put reminders, like how Shivani said, remind yourself. But for that, you need to keep on talking to people who are able to understand and share. Like
right,
usually I have my all my coaches and all every day I've made them write, especially with their names, because I found many of people are not yet connected with themselves. Like I also write. When I write my full name. I, Gita Sethi. It's written here in front of me also. I'm enjoying conducting NLP based interactive training sessions to professionals, trainers. See, you have to be very specific, educators. So all this is always written in front of me. So many years, still I have to read this, I have to feel it, and it has to go deep into my subconscious mind. And I have to consciously keep on picking it and reminding myself every day that why I'm doing it, why I'm conducting these kind of sessions. So that's the reason what I do is my preference is to take less people in a group session so that each one of, and I do coaching one on one because each one will take time to understand in their own way. Just saying that this is how it should be done. It's not like a formula. You have to absorb in it and see how you apply. And I keep on pinging and asking them, how is it working now? Like, that observe, think, feel, and act is so important. Till we don't go in that observation mode, we will not be able to go to the feeling mode because thinking though will keep on happening. Thoughts will keep on coming. How we
true.
can filter them?
Right, ma'am.
I hope this answer helps you.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So, coming to the students, how
Hmm.
will NLP help with this, like students who have learning disabilities? How should they work?
So before we think about students, we have to help teachers to understand how they can use NLP
Right,
because they are the ones who are going to interact with the students.
right,
See, what, as per the science, whatever their disabilities, all that is different. But then understanding each behavior, first the teacher has to understand and apply NLP in their own lives, and then they'll be able to. And for each child, it will be a slightly different. So there is no method as such, you do this way, this way. Yeah, there are observations you can keep on doing. You record those observations, you discuss them with another NLP practitioner or trainer, and then come to that, okay, this is the pattern of behavior of the child, and this is what we want it to happen. And that's how we meet those goals.
So, what are the common mistakes educators make when first learning NLP, ma'am?
First learning or when they don't know NLP, like those who
Yes,
don't know.
yes,
So first one is that the way my experience has been, because I go to school and colleges both.
right.
So see, we have never been taught about that simple logic, what you just heard now about conscious and subconscious mind. I think that is missing among all. And also understanding the mind first about yourself. Till you don't connect with your own self, it's very difficult to connect with any other human on the earth. That's my situation. Like, I
Mhm.
feel till I'm not yet, able to understand my own self, to connect with myself, and use the right linguistic to connect with myself. It's so important. Like, for example, how I mentioned about unconscious and conscious mind. So, unconscious mind doesn't understand any negative. And we keep on telling, like, I always think of that one example. In schools, we used to be always told, do not forget to do your homework. Do not forget to do this. That is not the way conversations or messages have to be given. So nobody
Mhm.
taught us at that time also. I don't think now also people are using NLP in education. So
I
my
think,
goal is how I can bring this in education. That's my
right.
goal of.
My next question is related to the communication, ma'am. What is the difference between NLP and traditional communication training?
So NLP makes you understand how the mind operates,
Mhm.
how you can understand even like if I don't put up my camera, how you can still understand me.
Right.
That skill gets developed. You don't need to see the person. You may just hear or you may just see the person and understand. That happens once you become very good or you become a real NLP practitioner. Your understanding of the person and of yourself becomes very sharp. And it's in communication, usually it is soft skills. What are the words we are using? Like I'm mentoring college students as well. So they are not able to speak in English much. But I ask, what are you doing now to, make it happen? So she says, every day I learn one new word.
Mhm.
So you think that one word is going to help her if she's not able to express what is going in her head.
Right.
I'm literally now making her write down that I, so and so, am able to converse in English and think in English.
Right. So,
It
ma'am,
was going to take time because her process happening in her brain, her mind is in a different language. And she thinks that if I can uh, learn some new words, or, she used to reply messages to me using ChatGPT.
ah,
So it is not going to help you to express what you want to convey to me. I
right.
would read that long message and, okay,
Okay.
yeah. So it's definitely very different than the words, what we learn in, our languages.
Right. So, ma'am, children learn a lot. Actually,
Mhm.
for them, home is
Mhm.
their first school. They learn, right, from their parents, the environment, and everything. So, at
Mhm.
home, how can parents use NLP with their children? What would you
Oh,
say?
I think Shivani can give an example. Shivani, would you like to share
Yeah,
your
for children,
experience?
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, for children, I feel it is very important. You should catch them young. I mean, my son does it with ma'am, and I mean, I can see that change in him, over time. That the way they think, the words which they use for themselves, how important it is for them to believe in them, in their own selves, and that is the exact vocabulary which comes. So for as a parent, it is very important what I am putting, what I am, talking to him, how I am talking to him, what are my words, how I am feeling it. And then it's a vibes, how which vibes I am giving it to him. And then he is going to respond or react the same way. So it's very mutual. When I tweak, he automatically tweaks. And when he is tweaking, I automatically tweak. So it's like we are give and take kind of a thing is happening between us. So
Good.
if I am not using the correct, if I am going low, so he is the one who helps me to, he points out things at me, like, Mama, what are you doing? Or this is see your attitude, or look at your words. So he is also helping me. And then, of course, when he feels little bit like his symptoms, I see he's going haywire, then I have to ground him. So it's very important for children because that is their belief system which will take them along.
True. True, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Shivani. Over to you, Ms. Gita. So, ma'am,
Yeah. Anything else?
educators, well-being is very important,
Very important.
right? They're dealing with a class of 30 students or 20 students, but the teenagers and everyone. So, can NLP help with teacher burnout and stress management?
Absolutely. That's the key. That's the first key to
Right.
so how to prepare yourself and then to be always in a resourceful state. So, that thought, oh, how I'm going to enter or what's going to happen today, all that anxiety. And also, all of us are managing many things. We are doing so much of what you can say multitasking. We can do multitasking, however, if we have organized our thoughts and beliefs first. As Shivani said, beliefs is the first thing. Values we cannot change. Once we observe, we find what our beliefs are, and then we work on those beliefs, and we just need to slightly tweak them. And we see the change happening.
Right.
If the teachers are in a good, resourceful state, imagine how the students are going to come out from there. Because it's again a communication which is happening, it's an interaction.
Right.
So that's very important. NLP is for everyone. For me, I feel that it should be in the school syllabus for children. That's
Right.
my goal. I don't know how I'll be able to achieve it, but that's the reason I keep on, talking about it. I do so much of research on that. I'm also helping students with their handwriting. If you
Right.
are aware, in schools, it's said to do print handwriting, right? And now also there's so much of research commenced. Now some countries are going back to cursive writing because how will the mind and body connect? That's so important. And there's so much of research on how children need to get connected. And that connection of the mind will happen when they start writing and they start connecting with the letters, what they write. So that's another huge thing to be taken care of. And this has to happen in schools.
Right.
Yeah, it has to go completely in their subconscious mind so that they don't have to think about it. It just happens. They know how to do it, and that's how they're going to make it
Yes.
happen.
So, any books or resources would you recommend for the beginners? I'm talking about the educators. Any
I
book?
haven't seen any book or anything.
Okay.
And
It's a
I
training.
would suggest ask them to attend, I'll conduct sessions. I do so
Right.
many.
Right.
And I've made training effectiveness training sessions also. And teachers all the time welcome because it has to start from there. I have spoken to principals also because again, you have to find from the top,
That's true.
once they are like, sort of get a buy-in of it. Yes, this helps. I have met so many principals. They said, yes, everything fine, fine. Taking an action is where
It takes time.
it takes time. And then they have so many other priorities.
Right.
The whole year is almost chopped out. Like this is the time for this. So where do I fit this? So they
Right.
have to really do it like much before the year calendar is planned so that, it goes in the right place where the teachers also have time, the students, everything. At first, I just do awareness session, like how I'm doing now, just a little hint about what it is, and
Okay.
then go step ahead. Because it's not a methodology that you teach this method and you follow this and it will happen. It has to sink in properly.
Right. So
And
thank you
your
so
questions are
much.
helping me a lot.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. If not the time constraint, I would have asked you more questions, and I would have, dragged it more, utilizing your time. But since we have the time constraint of 40 minutes, I need to end this session. Before I end this session, I really want to thank you wholeheartedly, like for sharing your knowledge on our platform regarding this topic, very important topic. And the
Yes.
School Journal of Education and schoolreformer.com. Thank you for the talk and for patiently answering all the questions. These were repetitive, all points were covered, but I wanted more matter into those, whatever the points you have covered on.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to mention on our platform, ma'am, before I end the session?
I would love to interact and keep on conducting sessions for school reformers.
Thank you so much. We are honored, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Ms.
thanks,
Shivani.
Shivani,
Thank
for being
you.
here.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for
Thank
Great,
you.
great.
letting
I'll
me
end
in.
the session now.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.